answer your pressing questions about the wonderful world of museums. So we've been taking questions from people online all day, and we're going to shoot some videos and answer them for you. Our first question is a tough one, but a really important one. So I want to do our whole first video just answering this question. It comes from Jana Dunn, and she writes, I understand that museums in general are working to counter the historical effects of colonialism and systematic racism in their collections and displays. Has the main museum reworked a display or interpretive text to make it more respectful or representational? This is such an important question, and it's something that we think about a lot, in particular myself, and we talk about a lot. Museums all over the world are sort of wrestling with these questions of decolonizing museums. And what that means really is addressing the fact that most museums have a legacy that is rooted in colonialism. And that can be seen in the collections that we have and the acquisition history of those collections, the benefactors of certain collections, all the way into how collections are presented and interpreted. And so that is actually something that we think about here at the main museum too. We are having hard conversations about questions of power and authority, perspective and interpretation of indigenous peoples, because 90% of our collection is made up of artifacts from indigenous peoples around the world. So this is very important. Overhauling a museum collection is very costly and time consuming, but we have some long-term ideas for the main museum to better reflect this idea of taking it from a Eurocentric perspective to one that is focused more on the cultures where our artifacts came from. So we have some long-term plans. In the short term, yes, we have been very diligent about going through and really analyzing our labels and pulling any labels that are outdated. A lot has changed since this museum was built in 1985. Especially in the language that we use when we refer to certain places and people. So we have gone through the collection, we have pulled labels that had terminology that was outdated or problematic for whatever reason, and we have a plan to redo all of our interpretive panels to address some of those issues. We're also focusing on bringing exhibits that really focus on the artistic cultures, artistic traditions of different cultures. So for example, later this year we're going to be doing an entire textile exhibit, textiles made by Hmong refugees from Vietnam. We have plans for other exhibits that focus on indigenous cultures more, and I think that's really important for us to explore. These ethnographic collections are wonderful, but there are some issues that need to be addressed, and we're really fortunate that the museum is in a position to ask these questions, and we have the support of Washoe County, who manages this museum, and also the Wilbur D Foundation, who owns this collection. So we're all sort of having these conversations and thinking about ways that we can better represent the people whose artifacts make up this collection, which we're very fortunate to have in Northern Nevada. So I hope that answers your question, and we will keep working on it, and we'll keep sharing our progress with you as we continue that journey. Stay tuned as we answer more of your questions for Ask a Curator Day 2020.